everybody. We're at week 4 now of the 5-week series. And today we'll be talking about hydration rhythms. We're very happy to have Dr. Gupta back with us again. She's the author of a title that we have in our collection called Empowering Aging, Insights from the Healthy Aging webinar series. So that's in the library catalog if you'd like to place a hold on that. Dr. Gupta is a research scientist with a background in cancer biology and innate immunology. She specializes in science communication, writing, and education. She currently authors 2 newsletters, Science Explained, which analyzes the scientific foundations of various biotech companies, and Science Simplified, which explains the science behind human health and diseases for a general audience.
Hello, everyone.
Additionally,
Hello, everyone.
Maybe I'll just ask everyone to just mute themselves while we're getting started here, and then later on you can turn your microphone on if you have a question. So additionally, she founded the Curious Minds community to empower individuals with science-backed tools and techniques that can be utilized to enhance both mental and physical well-being. So thank you very much, and I'll hand it over to you now, Dr. Gupta.
Thank you, Sequoia. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad to see you all, and I see familiar names and faces, so I'm so happy that you are here. So today we are actually continuing the series of aligning biological clocks, and we are discussing a very important topic today, hydration rhythms. And so if you are new, I will go through what I mean by circadian lifestyle, what is aligning biological clocks, and then we will jump straight into hydration rhythms because I have a lot of things to cover with you and tell you a little bit more about this simple yet so effective thing which we can do for our health. So we are discussing the circadian lifestyle for healthy aging. The whole focus of the series is to shift the focus from what to when for optimal health. When I say this, I mean we are basically concerned about what to eat, what not to eat, what to do for exercise. So things we always question about what, and we forget that when is very important because as we have clocks to tell us time and keep us informed about our day, we have internal biological clocks which are maintaining our daily habits, our daily routine. They are regulating the rhythm of sleep and wake. They're regulating the rhythm of digestion. And similarly, we have this rhythm of hydration. So we started this series with by understanding, by decoding these biological clocks. We understood everything, what they mean, what's the science behind it. And then the next talk was about sleep. Then we discussed the digestive clocks and then today, hydration clocks. And the last, we will be ending this series with the circadian code to address gut issues. All these talks, if you have not attended, they will be available on the YouTube channel of One Library, so you can go back and refer to them. So when I say hydration, what comes to your mind? Most probably water, right? We immediately think of water. We think of something fluids. But the hydration is more than just drinking water. It's about keeping a balance inside our bodies called homeostasis. So in our body, everything runs very smoothly because our body has this system of balancing. Like just like a thermostat which keeps our homes comfy, our bodies have systems that monitor and adjust things to keep us feeling good. Hydration is just one piece of puzzle. We also have systems that regulate our temperature, make sure we feel hungry at the right time, we feel satisfied after eating a meal, and then we have signals which tell us that if it is cold outside, we will start shivering and control our body temperature. If it's hot outside, we will start sweating to maintain that balance. So everything in our system follows a balance. And so when we talk about staying hydrated, we are really talking about keeping this whole system in harmony. It's about listening to what our bodies need and giving it the right balance of water and other essentials. So when I now let's get familiarized with the backstage crew, which is responsible for keeping things in order and maintaining the balance. When we talk about hydration rhythms, there are many players which are involved in keeping this balance. The starting from your thirst receptors, which will give you signal that you are thirsty. They are the osmoregulators, osmoreceptors, which are present in the mouth. So you will start feeling that the mouth is drying up, there is less saliva, then you will get the signals of drinking water. Your brain will get into action and release some hormones, which will then signal for you to search for water and drink. As soon as you are drinking water, there is a release of dopamine in the brain, which gives a pleasure or a signal. Even the water gives us pleasure because water is very essential for our living. If we are not drinking water, we can even die if we are not drinking water for 3 days. So water is essential. We have the signals in our body. Then comes a very important player in this whole system, which is kidneys. We have two kidneys, right side and left side. And when we see the inside of the kidneys, this is the cross section as the kidney looks. It's a very beautiful looking organ. And if you see, it has these filtration units. Like you have filter units in your home to filter out the bad things from the water, the heavy metals or the chemicals. Similarly, we have internal filtration units and they work for us 24/7. So when the anything, the blood goes inside, blood is 70% water, it goes inside and then it gets passed through these filtration units, and then the things which are essential for our body will be kept out and the things which are not will be excreted out in form of urine. So this is what the kidney is working for. And then there are several hormones which tell the body when the levels of water are going up or down. And it depends a lot upon the solutes, the salt you are taking, the sugar you are taking. So everything is being noticed by what you are eating and how much you are excreting out. And this is all the hydration rhythm, the back crew of the players involved in maintaining the hydration rhythm. So as I was mentioning that we have a very fine balance of everything inside us, and we have these day-night rhythms. The day-night rhythms, if you look at this will give you a very brief snapshot of what the rhythm look like. So here, this is the day, and here the right side is the night time. So as you are waking up, you start your machinery, your cortisol levels little bit go up, tells the system it's time for you to prepare for taking the food in. And then when you take the first meal, you break your fast, you take the first meal, insulin is secreted, which will digest the food and keep the sugar level stored for your daily work. And then your peak in alertness happens around 10 a.m. when you are very good in doing any cognitive task because you are very alert. And slowly around 3 4 p.m. your cardiovascular or muscular strength is high. That's the time when you can do exercises. Your body will not feel tired. This is the best time to do exercise. And then there is peak in lipid levels and so on as the day progresses. Around 5 p.m., 6 p.m., your body starts to wind down and prepare you for sleep. Your melatonin level will increase, body temperature will go down, blood pressure will fall, and then you will go into that at sleep phase, which is a very active phase, which we have discussed in talk 2, what happens when we are sleeping. But then this is the rhythm, right? And similarly, we have rhythm for our hydration. So we know that, right? When we are sleeping, we are not drinking water. Why? Because our body has stopped that signal. Our body has conserved the water for you to keep the all body functions going smoothly when we are sleeping. The system slows down when we are sleeping, so we don't need too much water. We are not sweating, and so the water levels are maintained. But the body knows, like when the melatonin starts increasing in our system around 6 p.m., that's the time when you will feel the most thirsty. Around 6:30, 6, 7, you will feel the most thirsty because body is now telling you, the brain and body is telling you to drink water so it can keep it for your nighttime. And you will not get up and drink water during the night and your sleep will not be disturbed. But if you are getting up for some reason, your uh, aging brings us with like the fragmented sleep and you wake up feeling thirsty, it's okay to drink water. Keep water near your bedside. It's not an abnormal signal. It's okay. But these are, I'm talking about the normal rhythm which we have in our system, in our body and brain, in which is related to the hydration. So when we wake up, when we are sleeping, the saliva production goes down. So when we wake up, the best thing is to drink some water and keep that hydration going again, because the muscles are semi paralyzed when we are sleeping. Saliva production decreases, so that's the time when bacteria also grows in our mouth. So when you are waking up, you can rinse your mouth, drink water first thing, good time to drink, and drink water around 6 to 6:37, which will your body, your system will actually tell you to drink water at that point of time. So we have a very smart system running in our body, which is controlling the which is actually monitoring how much sugar you are taking, how much salt you are taking, and depending upon that, it's telling you how much water you should drink. Okay, these are normal circadian rhythms. And then if I tell you this is the complex picture, this is just the half of the picture what is happening, but this is the system which is regulating the hydration, the water balance. Your body's hydration status depends on its water balance. When you are underhydrated, it means there you are not getting enough water or you are losing too much water, and then your body will tell you to drink more, or it will stop the production, the filtration. It will decrease the filtration and it will decrease the excretion, so the urine color will get darker. So this is how the body maintains water balance. Okay, so now let's see the two scenarios when we are drinking less water and when we are drinking excess water. Yes, we can drink excess water as well, and there is a condition which happens when we drink too much water. So this is the intake of the water from different dietary sources. The water can come as it is. Then there are beverages, milk, everything which we are drinking, any fluid or any cocktails or any even alcohol is water, but it is also diuretic, which I will talk about. Then food also has moisture. Fruits also is full of water. And then sodium actually also takes water from the cells. So that's another aspect which we will talk about in a while. And then these are the intake, and then we are excreting water also as urine. The blood is filtered out, and whatever is not needed or whatever is harmful for us is excreted out in the form of urine, sweat, transdermal water, respiratory water. When we are respiring, when we are breathing out little bit water as well, and stool water. So this is the intake and this is the excretion or the secretion. And then your fluid electrolyte balance. So when I'm talking about hydration balance, the thirst signals, the excretion output depends a lot on the sodium and the potassium volume in your body. It depends upon your blood pressure and it depends upon the plasma volume. So Let's take these two scenarios. So when we don't drink enough water, our body starts to feel the effects. First, our thirst kicks in, telling us we need to drink up. If we still don't drink enough, our body goes into conservation mode. So our kidneys start to conserve water by producing less urine, and our saliva and sweat production decreases too. This helps keep little water we have left in our bodies. But if we keep neglecting our thirst, things can get serious. Then we can get dehydrated. And when dehydration sets in, it leads to symptoms like dizziness, dry mouth, dark urine, headache, and our cognitive impaired abilities can get impaired. So serious problems can happen. Even mild dehydration can give you severe headaches. So when our body balance is thrown off, then this happens. The body tries to maintain the balance, but if we are not listening to the signals, or sometimes our thirst signals can go down as we are aging. So we will talk about this in a while, but let's understand what happens inside us. And now let's say we drink a lot of water. Sequoia, is something?
You've frozen a couple of times momentarily and then you come back. So I'm not sure who sent that sign, but anyways, it seems now.
Okay. Okay, so now let's say when we drink a lot of water, maybe more than our body needs. Initially, it might seem harmless, but our body has mechanism to deal with this too. So our kidneys will work harder to flush out the excess water through urine, and we might find ourselves making more trips to the bathroom. But if we keep overdoing it, things can get risky. Drinking too much water can lead to a condition called water intoxication or hyponatremia, where the balance of electrolytes in our blood gets diluted. So symptoms can range from nausea, headaches to confusion and even seizures. It's a reminder that even though water is essential, too much of a good thing can be harmful. So why is water important for our body? We talked about the water balance. We talked about how the body is maintaining this balance and what are the key players which are doing this job for us to keep this water balance intact. And we discussed what happens when we drink too less of water and what happens when something which is too good for us and we drink it too much, what happens at that level. So now let's talk about why water is so important. Because we are 70% water. Most of our organs are made up of water. Even the skeleton, the bone, which looks very brittle and it looks solid, is actually 22% water. So water is everywhere. Start with brain, 75%, skin, 72%, blood is 83% water, heart, lungs, liver, everything, you name it, everything has water. Adipose tissue, the fat is 10%, muscles 76%. Now, I want to focus on these two things right now because this ratio changes as we are aging. We lose our muscles and we gain in adipose tissue. So this is what changes the water percentage as we age. And also remember, when we are not drinking enough water, the biggest hit gets on brain. So brain cannot function very well when we are dehydrated, when we don't have enough water in our system. Okay, so benefits of drinking water, if I listed, the few of them will be it helps to carry the oxygen to your cells because our blood is water and RBCs are the cells which are carrying oxygen for us. It helps to flush the bacteria from your bladder. If we are dehydrated, we can also be prone to UTI, urinary tract infections. It helps to flush the bacteria from the bladder. So it also aids in digestion. It helps to digest the food. If there's less of water, the body will conserve and then the digestion will slow down. The intestine is actually a muscle, and it needs this, it works by this peristaltic movement. The food flows inside the intestine, and it needs water for the smooth movement. And so water helps in digestion. It also prevents constipation because, as I mentioned, if we don't have water, it will not flow properly and it will be difficult. The stool will be very constipated. So normalizing it blood pressure, very important aspect, because if so blood is water, right? And so if we are not drinking water, the body will try to conserve the water, and it will do it by absorbing water from the blood. So cells will take the water from the blood, and the blood will get thicker. And when the blood gets thicker, it can't pass through the heart. The heart takes the pressure of pumping the blood to the extreme parts being our leg, our toes, our head, which are extreme to your heart is at the chest level, and so extremes will be your extremities, your hands, your legs, or your head. So it will be harder for your heart to pass this concentrated blood, which is less of water, and then the blood pressure will rises. Or if there is too much water, blood pressure can go down. So very important aspect, which can be important when we are getting old. It also helps to cushion our joints, because our joints, our major joints, our knee joint, our elbow joint, they all have this cushioning, and it needs that lubricant, which is fat and water. So protect our organs and tissues as well. Our organs and tissues, all the organs, the major organs which are in the digestive cavity, they are actually connected with each other, and actually floating inside that abdominal cavity. And water is there to protect them. It forms that cushiony layer. And it regulates body temperature, as I mentioned. If it is cold outside, we start shivering. If it is hot outside, we start sweating. So water plays an important role in maintaining that body temperature balance. It also helps in maintaining electrolyte balance. How so? So if you might have felt it again and again, whenever you are eating something very salty, you will feel very thirsty afterwards. Why? Because that salty food has triggered the change in the salt levels inside the blood, right? The salt level go up, then the body, the balance is disturbs, and then you need to drink water to maintain that balance. So it also helps in sodium balance. So now the question comes, how much water should you drink? How should I drink? And then we again and again hear about this. Everyone should drink 8 glasses of water. And I will say that this is a very big myth. We don't need 8 glasses of water. And this is a recommendation which was originally, it came in 1945, and it was recommended by Food and Nutrition Board. And sometimes when you want to distill the information or simplify the information, and you say it like, okay, 8 glasses of water, and that stuck with us from like 1945. This information is stuck with us, and but it doesn't, it's not a one size fits all solution. Now we know better, and we the people went back and referred to that paper. The paper actually said that, the research paper I'm talking about, it actually said that 8 glasses of fluid. So the fluid was changed to water. So 8 glasses of fluid, which will include water, which will include beverages, which will include fruits and vegetables, which you are taking, the water coming from food. So it is like a lot of options for you. It doesn't mean that you are taking everything else, and also you have to drink 8 glasses of water just to feel just to feel right. So this is a myth. 8 is not a magic number, and drinking water actually depends a lot on your age. It depends on your location, the temperature outside. It depends also on your health and physical status. If you are someone who is running marathon, who is running a lot, will be sweating a lot, will be the output will be more. So the person who is a marathoner or a runner will need to drink more water. So it depends on your physical status. It depends upon your health. It depends upon the location. So now these are the things which I already mentioned a little bit, like how the factors can change your intake of water, the how much you need. So age is one big thing which we will be talking about in a while, like how age changes the thirst response and how the water relationship changes as we are aging. So physical activity, exercise level, everyone understands. Environmental condition. Now we are going into spring and summer, so there will be a lot of, like, we will be spending a lot of time outside. There will be sun, so more of the evaporation, more of the respiration, and the water will be losing through respiration, water will be losing through sweat. So we need to increase water intake. Then if we have some health ill status changes, or there is illness, fever, vomiting, diarrhea, etc., then we need to drink more water because our body is heating up. We need to increase water intake to keep that balance going. Then it depends upon your body size, your weight, your diet and food intake, and also medications or supplements. Some of the medications are actually diuretic. Um, Diuretic means that you are losing too much water through your urine. So at that point, you need to understand your water intake as well. And if you have some medical conditions, you need to consider your water intake with the doctor you are talking to. So this is how our water content changes as we are aging. We are a lot of water when we are adolescent, we are kids. So 74% water, and as we uh, grow old, our water percentage decreases, mostly because our skeletal muscles are decreasing, and skeletal muscles is a lot of water. And there are multiple reasons as well. And as you can see, this is for men and this is for women, because women start with a less of muscles, so their water content is always less than men. So men and women's water requirement is also different. And so let's look at that a little bit. So this is a same, the weight of these two persons is same. 30-year-old adult will be having 41 liter of water, and 70-year-old 70 kg adult will be having 35 liter water. So there will be a loss of 15% of water in this person. And then there are multiple reasons for this. As I mentioned, decline in lean muscle mass. And then you have decreased kidney function. So your kidney function decreases. So kidney is responsible for filtering all the blood, right? It's filtering the blood, and it is taking the blood, the water which is needed, or the things which are needed, essential, it's retaining, and the rest is being excreted out. And when our kidney function decreases, then this balance is goes into haywired. So the output can be larger or less depending upon the function right now. So then there is increase in body fat percentage. This is very crucial for menopausal women. When women undergo this estrogen decline, which is menopause, then we gain weight around the abdomen. So, and the weight, which is the fat around the abdomen, is actually metabolically active fat, and that means it is responsible for changing the homeostatic balance with the water. the water balance. So it's a very, I cannot go into detail in this 1 hour for this, but this is to understand that how as your body person fat composition is changing. And so you have to understand that you have to increase the muscle mass, more of strength training for women at that time, and water intake will be different than men. So mobility issues, we then get lazy to drink water because it's difficult for us to get up and go and take water. And we sometimes forget to drink water because our thirst signal, our thirst sensation decreases. And when we have heard this multiple times, 8 glasses of water. And the second thing we have heard that your body will signal you to drink water. And that is very true. But when we are getting old, our thirst signal dampens. But our body needs water. It's doing everything right inside. It's trying to maintain that balance, but it's not giving you signal to drink water. And this is the one thing which I think is not talked much to people and communicated well to people, that you need to understand this, that your thirst sensation is decreasing, but your body still needs water, because as I mentioned, every organ in our body is made up of water and it needs water to do all that great things for you. So, and then we are taking a lot of medications for a lot of things to keep us healthy, to keep us disease free. We are taking these medications to balance that disease symptoms, and the side effect of most of the medications is diuresis. So whatever water we are taking, we are actually losing out a lot. So we need to talk about this with our healthcare practitioner, and we need to think that these are the things which are affecting our water balance. So these are the list of the medical conditions under which you need to monitor your water consumption very carefully. And you need to talk with your healthcare practitioner, because when you have kidney disease or heart failure, the doctor will suggest you to drink less water, or they will calculate the water intake for you depending upon your weight, your height, your fat percentage. So these are the conditions where you need to discuss with your healthcare practitioner. You can't just follow the broad advice which is given. As I have multiple times mentioned this, each of us are very different. So the approach should be very personalized. This is for educational thing. You should know, when we understand the science behind us, we can talk with the healthcare practitioner or the someone who is suggesting us medications more appropriately. More questions we can put which are logical, and we can get right answers. So these are the list of the conditions. Now, little bit about what makes us thirsty, right? A little bit science behind it. So our brain has this region which is controlling the thirst. As I mentioned, we have a main biological clock inside our brain, which knows when it is day, when it is night, depending upon the light in our environment. And similarly, we have something called thirst receptors, which monitors the sodium, potassium levels, which monitor the water levels and everything, and they are talking to each other. So depending upon day or how much you are sweating, how much exercise you are doing, you will be getting more thirsty. So this is the thirst regulation which is happening inside, and we talked about it. But then I'm just repeating this stuff again, because now we are seeing it in a different light. We now know that our thirst response is dampened as we are getting old. So we will be seeing this things very differently now. So now what we need to understand, if we are doing some exercise, if we are out in sun, even we are gardening or we are doing some work, keep a water bottle near you so you can drink water. And sometimes when we are feeling like little irritated, anxious, and we don't know the reason about it. That's the time to drink water. You will understand your body once you start looking for symptoms. You are feeling a little bit headache. Too much of bright light can also cause headache, and also less water consumption can cause you headache. And I will tell you the best thing to monitor how you can know when your water is going down. So look for the saliva production. If you are dry mouth, then time to drink water. If you feel palpitated, if you feel anxious, if you are walking and you are feeling like your breath is going, you are getting breathless, maybe the water is not there. Your blood pressure is going up and down. So very minute things. When you understand the science behind things, you will catch these symptoms and not panic, not related to very big thing. It can be that, but start from drinking water and see if it is changing or not. So what the authority says about drinking water. So European Food Safety Authority recommends 2 to 2.5 liters per day for elderly men and 1.6 to 2.1 liters per day for elderly women. So this water, this 1.6 to 2.1 includes everything. Your beverages, your fruits and everything. So think about that. It's not too much. We can get that. So also from this McGill family files, from the doctor's files, they suggest 1500 to 1.5 liter to 2 liter of water, and this is depending upon your weight. So depending upon the weight, the water content changes, and now we can understand why, because every organ is water. More fat, more muscles, so more water needed. So let's talk about the other sources of water. So to give an idea, water is the first and foremost thing. When we drink water, our brain actually feels happy. So have a good relationship with water. I know water is tasteless, but we can do something about it. We can add little uh, something, cucumber or mint or lemon, to make it like flavorful. And the other thing are tea, coffee, juices, celery, spinach. A lot of things has this is 90 to 99% water. Watermelon is almost like water. So fruit juices, yogurt, apples, pears. But if you are taking fruit juice, go for fresh fruit juice, because the market one, it's added with sugar and we don't need the extra sugar. Then bananas, avocados, baked potatoes, cottage cheese, 70 to 79% water. And this is the list of things which has a lot of water. So some of the simple tips to remain hydrated, something which I found interested and can work for everyone, is to set reminders to drink fluids on a schedule. Don't wait for the signals to come to you. Just set reminders and have that water or intake. You know that this much I need to drink. How I will figure out when I will drink. Drink less in the evening, like before your bedtime, so you are not getting up just for peeing. Because of that increased water intake, drink more in the morning, and then drink smaller volumes of fluids more often. So think of drinking of 4 to 8 hours, like a little half glass of water, or every 1 to 2 hours. So don't aim for like full glass, maybe half glass if full glass is too much. So use visible cues to remind you to drink water. This is a one thing which is a very important habit. When you are forming a new habit, you need cues around you. Keep water bottles around you wherever you spend most of the time. And maybe go for, or don't go for plastic bottles. Plastic, it can cause microplastics, and which is not good. So go for something steel bottles or some glass bottles, whatever other than plastic. There are many, many options for that. And then when you are eating food, have water with you, or have something which is, and have something which is watery when you are drinking, like soups or broths, or anything which is like your food should not be dry. It's also difficult to chew. So your fruit should, yogurt maybe have something which is also giving you water and making your food easy to digest and easy to swallow. And so drink fluids with meals and snacks. Having beverages at meal times can help increase fluid intake. And we can also think about new things which can we can increase. And so hydration and physical activity, whenever you are going for physical activity, have water with you every time. Drink before, in between, after. Whenever you are thinking you are getting breathless, drink a sip of water. Drink extra fluids on hot, humid days. We are losing water, we don't know. It's not always visible. It's through armpits or it's through other areas where we are losing water. Sometimes it's not. For females, especially, we don't have sweat glands as much as males. So we lose water in a very different way, but we lose. So we need to understand this. So if you are taking medications that can cause fluid loss like diuretics, drink more fluids than usual. When you are taking medications, aim for taking a full glass water, half glass water. But I will again repeat this thing.
You're frozen. Okay. You're frozen again.
I'm not sure why this is happening. Is it?
I'm seeing that there's an unstable internet connection. That might be me. I'll talk to the IT team. But for now, you're back. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry about that. If it's here, I'm like, I have not changed nothing, but it's has its own mind. So, okay, let's get back to it. So, I was mentioning that if you are on medication, especially for heart related or kidney related conditions, or some kind of cognitive related conditions, then please talk to your doctor about your water intake. Sometimes the time of visit with our doctors is so short that we can't discuss about these things in detail. But whenever you go next, always check with the what about the water you need to drink. And last but not the least, don't avoid too much of sugary beverages. They give you pleasure, they increase the dopamine, they are fulfilling, but they will not quench the thirst. They are not doing anything. And the idea is they are actually not neutral. They are harmful for our gut, they are harmful for our brain, they are harmful for, I can list n number of things. So I'm not saying don't drink, but have a healthy relationship. Maybe go for something which is natural and fresh. And if fiber is not a problem, go for full fruit. Don't go for juices. We need fiber. So avoid too much diuretics. Diuretics is, as I mentioned, can be some medications. Natural diuretics are coffee, tea, energy drinks. So energy drinks, that Monster drinks, Red Bull, or things like that, they have a lot of caffeine in it. And caffeine can actually it's water, but it also helps. It's also diuretic. It decreases a lot of water from our body as in form of urine. So alcohol, which is another potent diuretic, alcohol increases water loss. And some fruits and vegetables like asparagus, artichoke, beets, pineapple, they are natural diuretic foods, but they are not harmful as alcohol or caffeine. But just to mention, because to add in the list. So, what are the symptoms of dehydration? The dehydration will be dry mouth. First thing, you will have a little bit of headache, muscle cramps of weakness. We don't realize it. The water, less water in our body can actually cause muscle cramps. Then high heart rate, low blood pressure, or dizziness, fatigue and weakness, inability to sweat or produce tears. Then loose shriveled skin that lacks elasticity, sunken eyes, less frequent urination, dark colored urine. These are the symptoms to look for, and they can appear in different range in different people depending upon the level of dehydration. But I will say for me, when I'm dehydrated and I don't know the reason, if I'm not drinking, I will get headaches. And so headache is the first thing I know. For no reason at all, I'm having this is a little bit headache. So if I drink water, I know it's better. So for me, it is that sign which I notice in me. But these are the symptoms, a list of symptoms. But the best thing which I was mentioning, this is my last slide, to monitor the color of your urine. This is the best thing which you can understand with it. So we need to have this in this range, the lemonade. This review article has given the color of the pea different names, which is interesting. So lemonade, we have to be in this range where we think that it is we are drinking enough, we are drinking good. So light beer, lemonade is the range where we need to. We don't, if we are seeing this color, we need to increase our water content. So some of the foods can change the color of the urine, so we need to think about that as well. Yellow, fava beans, food coloring, rhubarb, beet, spinach can change the color of the urine as well. So um, actually, urine and stool can give us so much information about our bodies, but to start with, this is what we need to understand about the hydration level in our body. Too much, we will see this white color, which is also good, not bad if you are having 1 or 2 times in a day. This transparent urine is not bad, but lemonade is the ideal state where we want to be. So I will end here. And this is my information, the website and the email. If you want to connect with me, have any suggestions or recommendations, you can always write to me. Uh, Sequoia already mentioned about the book. It's available in the library, so you can book there as well. And if you want a copy for you, you can go to Amazon and get a copy of that. So now, questions.
How much for that book if I go to Amazon? What's the price?
Amazon, it's $14, 14 Canadian.
Four. Thank you. And
4.
one more question. One guest speaker told us in a group that for every 20 pounds you weigh, 1 glass of water you should drink. Is she right or wrong?
I will say it's not wrong, and it's not completely right as well, because it, as I mentioned, it depends upon your physical level, your the temperature outside. So the thing is, it varies with your physical activity, with the temperature outside, or what you are doing, or if you are on medications, or so it will vary. But yeah, it totally changes with the weight. So if you weigh a little more, then there is a whole chart which tells you like how much water you should drink. But I will say aim for 1.6 to 2 liters of water in a day.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Welcome.
Yulia has a question. I think you're asking the syndrome or syncope? Is it syncope or syndrome from dehydration? Syndrome from dehydration, is it happening often?
What about the syncope? Symptoms?
I think she means that she must mean symptoms. I don't know, Yulia, if you're there, if you can feel free to turn your mic on if you like. Otherwise, are you talking about
Syncope, that's passing out.
symptom.
Okay, yeah. Actually, if it's severe dehydration, then it can lead to that. Um, but it can be any other medical issues also. I will not rule out the other medical conditions as well. But as I mentioned, there is a relationship between the water level in our body and blood pressure. So we know that if blood pressure goes too low, we will feel dizzy and we can pass out. If blood pressure goes too high, we will feel ill. It can lead to stroke as well. So because water level controls so many important factors in our body. It's important to know, but this will not be only responsible by water. It can be any other medical condition. So I will keep a broader mind for that.
Rosalind is asking, can water decrease creatine levels?
So creatine levels are, creatine is actually an important parameter to understand your kidney health. Uh, Water, it is a very complex thing. I will not directly link it to water decrease, but creatine will tell you more about the health of your kidney. And this indirectly tells you about the water level in your body. So if you are, uh, as we go through the medical checkups, you can see the creatine levels and it will tell you the water level, your kidney health, and the doctor can advise you whether you need more water or less water. Because sometimes when we have kidney related issues, the doctor actually tells to drink less water, so to not to give kidney too much of load, and then will also tell you to decrease the level of activity, physical activity, or keep yourself more cool. So you have to change your habits accordingly.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Gupta. We're really enjoying your sessions. We're looking forward to next week when you'll be talking with us about gut issues.
Yes. Thank you. And I noticed when I was talking about the hydration and water, most of you who had their video on, I can see you drinking. And it's just like physical, like we have this signal, right? When we hear about water or when we see other people drinking, we also drink. So that's the cue I was talking about. Like when I was preparing this presentation, the similar thing was happening with me as well. So, this is important. We can help each other. We can have these physical cues, the water present near us everywhere. And this is how we can help to change habits. And I think we will have a very interesting series of about habit revolution with one library soon. And there we will have a little workshop as well, where we will learn ways how to change our habits or how to inculcate new habits. So that will be interesting as well.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Dr.
Thank you.
Gupta.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you
Dr.
for
Gupta.
coming.
Very, very
Bye.
informative.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very nice presentation.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so informative. I really love it. We learned a
Thank
lot.
you. Thank you. Hope to see you all next time.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you, Dr. Gupta.
Bye bye.